Hello everyone, welcome to EduTap and welcome to the success story session. In today's session, we have with us Miss Anjana, who has cleared the RBI Grade B in 2022, that is very recently only. And let me tell you that it will be really inspiring for the females, especially who are married and who want to pursue the RBI Grade B. That even after marriage, she was able to clear the RBI Grade B in her first serious attempt. So let us know about her strategy, that how she was able to clear the RBI Grade B. So first of all, heartiest congratulations to you, ma'am, for clearing RBI Grade B this year.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
So can you share about your educational background?
Yeah, I completed my BTech in 2017 from Electronics and Communication branch. Later, I pursued Master's MA from Delhi University in Environmental Studies branch.
Okay. And how you came up to this RBI exam?
So I used to prepare for the competitive exams like UPSC, and I have even given attempts in SSC, CGL, state PSC. So RBI is famously termed as civil services of the finance sector. So yeah, in 2019, I gave an attempt just to know whether the exam is my cup of tea or no. But at that time, I wasn't prepared at all, and I felt the level of the exam is also a bit high. So again, the next attempt was in this year, which I seriously prepared for.
Okay. So we can say that this was your first serious attempt in which you cleared the RBI Grade B. That
Yeah.
is really nice. So how were you like inspired to give this exam? I can say.
This exam, it has multiple dimensions. Like it includes economy, finance, and also the management segment. Mostly while studying UPSC, I got interested in economics and even environment as well. So that is the reason I pursued environmental studies to know the greater importance of environment climate change. And later on in the news, I used to study RBI is doing like sustainable finance. It also has created a sustainable finance group. So I thought I could make a change by entering into the institution, like making people more aware regarding the climate change risks. And yeah.
Yeah, from here only we can understand that how much clarity of mind you have when you talk about the things that you want or you what you are saying. So that is really nice. Now coming to the marriage part, like you have cleared the RBI grade B in this year after your marriage. So like the responsibilities are greater after marriage. Usually the females are afraid that if we marry, then we won't be able to prepare because there would be so much responsibility. So what is your take on that? That after marriage, is it possible? Like for you, it has been possible?
uh, for me, marriage is like a boon. It was not a bane. And see, this depends on the life partner which who comes into the life as well. My life partner for me was a mentor. Like he was a personal coach and mentor, even motivator for me, because he's a chartered accountant and also a finance manager. So he also helped me with all finance and management segments. So almost I can say my finance subject mentor is my husband.
Yeah, that is really nice to hear that if you have a helpful partner, if you have a like supportive partner, then you can of course continue with your studies. You can of course continue with the dreams that you have, like mom has done.
Yeah.
So that is really nice to hear that like after marriage, after everything, you were able to clear the RBI grade B and that also in the first serious attempt. That is really nice to hear. And it is like very inspiring for the women that are out there and that are trying to become the RBI grade B officer or any other
Yeah.
exams if they want to clear they can of course leave. So now
It's actually a kind of a turning point for me, because all my habits also changed, because I used to study until midnight, until 3 a.m. in the night. But I never used to wake up in the morning. So after marriage and all, my husband used to say waking up in the morning is very important, mind fresh and all. So I used to put alarm daily. But after a week or point, I started waking up at 3 p.m. I did this from December 2021, I did this continuously till the exam. One day or the other, I used to skip, but yeah, almost I was very determined to wake up in the morning, and it actually improved my memory, I can say.
okay, That is also the determination that you had for the RBI Grade B, that you were able to clear the exam, and that
Yeah.
also. Now, let's start with the strategy for the phase one. Like for
Okay.
the phase one, especially the GA part is very important, but it is also very factual, which is hard to remember. So, how did you manage the GA part? Starting with that.
Okay, so coming to the GA part and mainly finance segment in finance current affairs in the GA part,
Hmm.
I
Yes.
prepared combinedly for phase one and phase two together for the
Okay.
finance part because I can do multiple revisions.
Hmm.
I almost revised finance current affairs for almost maybe 20 times. Like some things are even printed in my mind even now. So because since October, I revised all the current affairs every month. For
Okay.
example, if December current affairs comes, I used to revise October, November, December, all the three. Once in a week, I used to revise. So GA, mainly finance current affairs and government schemes of videos of EduTap were also so helpful.
Okay.
And mind maps of EduTap are best for last minute revisions. And even while entering into the phase two, outside the center, I was sitting with my laptop, opening the EduTap mind maps only. So
Okay.
yeah,
Yes, that is really nice to see and nice to hear that the mind maps that we have put a lot of efforts are really helping the students. And so,
yeah,
according to the strategy, the GA part, especially the revision part, is very important because
yeah,
facts, usually the students forget the facts. So, as much revision as you do, that will get printed in your mind. So, that is,
yes.
and how many months of current affairs? Like you said, you started from October.
Yeah, for phase one, I started from October, but for phase two, I had even revised June 2021, from June
Okay.
2021, because I didn't want to take any chance. So I revised almost 1 month, 1 year
Okay.
current affairs.
Okay. Now coming to the English part, did you prepare for that for the phase one, or you were relaxed that I will be able to do it?
English part, I didn't prepare. Only through mock tests, I used to practice. Just mock tests. For phase one English, I didn't prepare anything, only mock tests.
And now coming to the quant and reasoning.
Yeah, quant was okay for me, and that also I did only through the mock test. But logical reasoning, I used to watch some YouTube shortcut videos, like because the questions itself are very lengthy.
Hmm. True.
So I used to watch some shortcuts or any kind of method which decreases my time in
Okay.
solving the questions. So
Okay.
yeah, I watched some YouTube videos regarding that.
So yeah, so we can understand that you have to understand your strong points, and then you
Yeah,
have to still you have to give the time, like in the mock test, through the mock test you have to understand the pattern, that what kind of questions are asked.
yeah.
Otherwise you can focus on the weaker points and you can prepare well for that.
Yeah,
So
mock tests almost one mock test each day I used to give. That
mm,
too from different multiple sources.
mm,
Because same mock tests will be monotonous, like same type of questions will be repeated.
mm,
That is why giving from mock tests from multiple coaching centers or which they offer free mock tests.
mm.
Those are very beneficial. And previous year papers are the key. I used to read previous year papers a lot for general awareness to for getting the idea like what is the scope of the questions, what kind of what range can be there.
And for
From 2013 I did previous year questions.
okay. So yeah, previous year questions are like the Bible for any exam. So you can understand that what kind of questions are asked. Yes, true. So now coming to the GA, usually students are like they usually ask this question, that is there some topics that we have to focus more on, like social security or financial inclusion, or we have to read everything that is available in the newspaper, that is there in the newspaper.
No, newspaper, frankly speaking, I used to follow, but I did not make any notes out of it. I used to just take the material available online, like monthly current affair material or finance current affair materials. So I used to focus more on the news regarding finance and international affairs, and
Okay.
also this indexes which provide ranks,
Mm.
right, for India
Yeah.
and for other countries. So Human Development Index and
Mm.
mainly indexes which were released by UN and UN
Mm.
related organizations.
Yeah.
And also government schemes. These government schemes are like one time if you read, that will be helpful for phase 1 and phase 2 as well.
True, true. So now I think we can move forward to phase 2 now, that starting from English only. So did you prepare a lot for the English descriptive?
No, again, English descriptive, I prepared only essay. That too, I did not take up any topic in specific. I just used to open some mock test and give the topics which were prescribed in the mock test. I used to just write an essay regarding that. And once the mock test is done, I used to take the other leftover topics from the same mock test and I used to practice.
Okay.
But luckily in the exam, there was a topic on climate change. So
Okay.
I could write altogether 600 dot words in the exam.
That is really nice. So now coming to the framework. According to you, what is a good framework? Like the paragraph writing is good or the point-wise writing is good? So the framework, can you tell?
For essay, I prefer paragraph because
Okay.
it's called essay because maybe because of the paragraphs. So I wrote in paragraphs only.
Mm.
And first of all, introduction we have to put important facts regarding the particular topic, and then it should not be like the introduction and the body should both be linked together.
Mm.
One introduction, something you write body, so that will not should not happen. And conclusion is a mandatory.
Mm.
So I personally thought of putting any quote or anything in the essay, but I did not get a chance because they directly asked regarding the Glasgow summit, and
Mm.
so that was the topic which I revised, and that was again the news in November. So I
Okay.
revised multiple times that all the facts were printed in my mind. So I luckily after seeing that essay, I thought my English went good.
Okay. And coming to the Pressy reading comprehension, like what should be the uh, choice? Like, should you attempt essay first or Pressy first or reading comprehension?
If the essay topic is known to you,
Mm.
then better to attempt essay first because it is almost of 600 words.
Mm.
So if we leave it to the end, we might not completely fill the 600 words and
Yes.
we might not meet the word limit. So if the topic is completely sure, the essay topic, if you know the topic, then better to attempt essay first,
Mm.
and then the comprehension, reading comprehension, and last precise. And
Okay.
for me, the precise word limit was 180, but I was able to write only 130 words precise.
Okay.
So, but I was satisfied because the other two sections I attempted completely.
Okay. Now coming to the FM part, like the finance and management. So what were your sources? Like you said, your husband also helped you a lot in that, but still, can you tell a little about the finance and management? Because you were quite new to the finance and management from coming from the BTech and coming from the environment studies. So how did you manage those subjects?
Actually, first, after seeing the syllabus of the finance and management, I was a bit frightened. So I started my management preparation from November itself. I
Okay.
used to study the current affairs and management because all the topics were new.
Hmm.
So I from EduTap and from other sources, I made out on notes regarding all the topics which are given in the syllabus are covered. I used to make sure that, and that notes I used to revise multiple times until January. So it took almost 1.5 months to complete the whole management syllabus, and then later 15 days I revised multiple times.
Okay.
And from January I started phase 1. Till then I did only this management portion because I was completely new to the management segment.
Okay.
And after January also not completely leave it because the concepts, theories, and management should be revised continuously
Hmm.
to make sure that they are imprinted in the brain. So I used to revise almost once in a month until the phase 1 as well, the management part.
Okay.
Finance part, my husband, what syllabus I used to do, and EduTap mind maps I used to revise continuously. And any doubts, my husband used to clear.
That is really nice to hear. And we can say that revision is a must, especially a new subject that is quite new for you. So you have to revise it a lot. So did you also relied on the mock test?
Yeah. I gave so many mock tests for phase 1 and phase 2 for both. I gave multiple mock tests. Mock test increases your scope of thinking Like this kind of question also can be asked like that. So attempting mock test from multiple sources is a must for any exam.
Okay. And did you practice the financial management from the descriptive point of view also, or you were just reading the theories?
No, descriptive point of view, I practiced a lot because the interface which is provided in the exam is completely different.
Hmm.
So I bought a keyboard, a similar kind of keyboard, and I used to practice daily almost 2 hours descriptive for finance and management.
Okay.
And main revision is the must because
Hmm.
if we know stuff we can write something, if we can type something, if we are doubtful in the question that was asked, we cannot put anything, like we cannot type anything, so that takes more time.
Yeah, true. And were you able to complete the word limits, or you preferred quality over quantity, or you were able to do both quality and quantity?
uh, for only one question I think I didn't meet word limit, but
Hmm.
remaining questions I maintained both quality and quantity.
Okay.
But only for one question I just left with quality because because there was no time. Time was up by that
True. But you have to practice a lot for writing
time.
600, 400 words that like
Yeah,
only in one question you were not able to, and in other questions you were able to. So that needs a lot of practice because of course we know how the interface is coming to the any of the examination that is competitive. So
yeah.
now coming to the ESI part. So how were you able to revise all the things, because there are so like such a vast syllabus is there for the ESI. We cannot tell it in three, four syllabus points. So how were you able
Yeah.
to cover the ESI part?
EduTap material was so helpful for covering the ESI part, mainly because the topics were segregated under a name tag, particular name tag. For example, globalization, and they give the theory regarding it. But I personally chose mind maps because in one mind map, just in 5 to 6 slides, the whole revision can be done. So the mind maps were so helpful, I could say. EduTap's mind maps were like, for revision, the mind maps were the best for me.
Okay. And now coming to the objective, like you said that you were doing the combined practice for the phase one and phase two, GA and ESI. So how were you able to remember? Were you making your own notes, or you were just printing out the PDFs and highlighting the points?
I didn't make my own notes for anything apart from management. I didn't make my own notes, but yeah, I used to take the printouts of different PDFs available. I used to follow only one source, and I used to revise that multiple times. Any for anything, the revision is the key, I could say. And for ESI phase two, almost all the questions were from government schemes only, but the schemes should be read in such a depth
Hmm.
that I used to see so many marathon videos of EduTap and other sources which were available in
Hmm.
the YouTube. So they used to cover so many government schemes in some 100 questions, 200 questions like that. And followed by that question, there used to be a mind map. So I
Hmm.
used to take a screenshot of that for last minute revision. So that
Yes.
was helpful.
So now coming to the descriptive part of the ESI, again for that also, can you tell some framework for that?
Descriptive part of ESI, we have to mainly focus on some areas, like, for example, this COVID crisis and all came. So, one can expect a question on global financial crisis.
Yeah.
So, such kind of topics, such kind of predictable topics have to be prepared on the beforehand. For example, now deglobalization is also a major topic. So,
Yes.
that kind of questions, deglobalization, globalization, both are linked, so they can ask globalization as well. So such type of current related topics have to be prepared thoroughly from
Yes,
any
true.
kind of source.
Yes, that's so true. And now I think we have covered all the three parts, the English, FM, and ESI. Any other thing that you want to add for the phase two preparation? Any message for the aspirants?
Yeah, I would like to say, do not segregate phase one and phase two current affairs.
Mm.
Prepare both together, because when you prepare for the current affairs, even in phase one, so while revising it in phase two, you feel that, oh, I already know this. It's not a new thing to me.
Mm.
So it will be registered in your mind more clearly than ever before.
Yes, that's true. So it is really nice that you have told so many good points for the aspirants to remember, that you have to revise a lot, you have to practice a lot, then only you will be comfortable in the exam hall during the
Yeah.
examination, with the interface, with the question, with the pattern and all. So I hope the students must have learned a lot. Now coming to the interview part. So for we are done with the phase 1 and phase 2. Coming to the interview part, how was the panel, first of all?
Panel was actually very cordial. There were in total 5 people, 3 males and 2 females. So when I entered the panel, the first question the chairman sir, first question he asked me,
Hmm.
your academics and your profile is so good. Why didn't you clear it in the first attempt? So that little boosted my confidence
Hmm.
because he was indirectly praising me, I thought. But later it went more of I drive my interview more into the climate change and what banks are doing, what RBI is doing,
Hmm.
and I even quoted a summary of a report regarding that climate change, which was released by RBI. So yeah.
That is really nice. So most of the questions were driven by you only, we can say that with the
Yeah,
answer that
but
you give.
there were some unexpected questions as well. They were asking me about demographic dividend.
Huh.
Like one question they gave, 2 questions they gave me to analyze. One was something based on a graph which I was unable to answer perfectly. But one question was it was asked demographic dividend. Now the whole population is
Hmm.
getting older.
Hmm.
So how do you see India in 2045? Like that they asked. So I added sustainability development and sustainable finance so that the future generations should not be compromised of any, the available facilities or essential facilities.
Okay.
So I took that way.
And like most of your questions were from your biodata, or they were technical also?
Actually, one technical question was also asked from ECE, which I was unable to answer, although it was from biodata, but I didn't prepare that part of the questions because I thought they will focus only on MA.
Okay.
But they also asked BTech questions. It was mixed because they even asked Bimal Jalan committee recommendations
Hmm.
also. And they also asked about RBI, that forex reserves at that point of time, and they asked multiple questions to analyze. This demographic dividend question was quite new for me because till then, which I was hearing from, I was seeing the transcripts of other people. I didn't find this question anywhere.
Okay. And did you give any mock interview before going for the final interview?
Yeah, I gave a few mock interviews to get
Okay.
myself habituated.
Okay. And how important do you think are mock interviews before going for the final interviews?
I could say in the mock interviews which I gave, not even one question repeated. Rarely, I think 1 or 2 questions repeated. So I could find out the scope of the questions that can be asked. That
Hmm.
helped me prepare for more type of questions.
Hmm.
I prepared for more type of more questions which are possible that can be asked from. Oh, from here also they can ask the question. Before that, before one mock interview, I did not prepare that part. But when I was unable to answer that question in the mock interview, so later I used to prepare that part also. So
So we can
yeah, they helped me a lot.
So we can say that it gives you a wider purview, that okay, this these topics we can prepare, as well as it gives you a confidence also, that okay,
Yeah,
I have done this well in this interview, I can do better for the final interview. And
yeah.
when you went for the final interview, were you nervous? Because right now when you speak, you are very confident. So that happens with such kind of people also, that are very confident, that they go and become nervous a little.
Actually, yeah, I was a bit nervous because I thought my interview would be in the somewhere in middle. Actually, 20
Hmm.
people were interviewed on my day.
Okay.
I thought it would be somewhere in middle, but before day I got a call saying that your interview is in first 5 candidates. So since then I was so tense because I didn't revise some parts which I had to revise by that
Hmm.
time. So I could not sleep that night and all that. But after entering into the I was a fifth candidate to go
Hmm.
to for the interview. So after entering into the hall and after the chairman sir's remark, I was like, okay, not that bad.
Okay. So you have to just get over your nerves and give the answers perfectly, because that's your
Yeah,
final chance for getting into
yeah.
RBI. So that is really nice. Any other thing that you want to add regarding the interview?
Yeah, for interview, we have to, the preparation for the interview and the practice. For me, mock interviews were the best. And I also had some face-to-face interviews with my husband who used to interview me. So, for this, I prepared separately. For example, I took some A3 sheets, some 50 A3 sheets. And for 5 A3 sheets, I made all the possible questions of environment and RBI.
Okay.
And for other questions, I made current affairs RBI, like that, government schemes RBI. So for everything, I used to link it with RBI. What can be the possible question from this question, like that?
Okay, that is also really nice strategy, that you have to think about the questions that can be asked. So even if those questions are not asked, but you at least have prepared for a greater purview of
Yeah.
questions.
Not only the questions, but the answers should also, like what answer you have to give in the interview if this question is asked.
Hmm.
Even that answer has to be written and practice. The revision is the key for anything. So I used to revise multiple times, even these questions which I practiced.
Okay, so now we are at the end of the interview, I can say. And any message for the females out there, for the aspirants out there that are looking up to you, seeing your strategy?
uh, be determined. Yes, there will be ups and downs in the journey, but so many people will try to demotivate you as well,
Hmm.
along with the motivation. But always try to motivate yourself. You have to be the driving force of you. So you have to be determined, motivated, and revision is the key for everything, even for writing answers, for giving interviews, mock interviews or original interview, by like by structuring the answer of the interview. Even then the revision helps you a lot.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am, for coming and giving us this interview. And I hope that most of the aspirants, all of the aspirants that are seeing this interview, they get inspired by you. You have such a like calm and honest personality. The aura is such great, that I hope that all of the aspirants must have learned a lot from you. And thank you so much, ma'am, for coming.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for having me.